With each unit, we include an applied music theory page. There's going to be a piece that's presented as a lead sheet. The lead sheet is the notation of melody and with the chord symbols given. So the idea is we have a melody here, but we as the pianists are going to execute the chord playing that goes along with the melody. So let's take a look here at Brahms Lullaby on page 28. See the chord tones? We have C, G7, G7, C, and then an F, C, G7, C. So 3 chords, 1 chord, 4 chord, 5, right? C, F, and G. And if you remember our review, I remember our scale, we're take a look at our key signature here. There's no sharps and flats, so we're in the key of C. So we have the 1 chord, it's built on the step 1 of the scale. That's the C chord that we open with. The 4 chord builds on step 4 of the scale. So we have the F, and notice that in our page 29 here illustration and in our review at the early part of the book, we've rearranged this F, A, C, E by just bringing the C underneath. And then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5 chord is our G chord. Adding the 7th, and we had a way of rearranging that here too, didn't we? In other words, the G brought from the bottom over to the top. Since it does include G, B, D, F, we can play it this way, or we can play it with the D, B or the D. So we have a couple options. And right here we have the way of playing these 3 chords that are very close to each other. So let's start with that sort of execution. Analyzing our melody. What are those tones? It's the middle of the chord. I'll play it up here. 3rd of the chord to the 5th. And then up high. So those first several measures are only chord tones, and it all outlines C, so very sensible that we accompany with C. The easiest thing we can do is just put a black chord on the downbeats. But that's not so satisfying musically, is it? So what if we did this instead? Bass and then to the top of the chord. For the 5-7, like this. Or the alternate 5-7. So. But how about this? Or this. Notice I went down to the root. Now we can catch that name of the chord, the root and the bass, and jump if we want to be a little more adventurous.